Okay, today we're going to look at, so far we know how to shift left and right, up and down. We know how to graph the four graphs, the lines, the parabolas, the V's, the absolute values, and the exponential. Today we're going to look at two other types of things that we can do the graph, the reflections. Okay? And if we want to graph negative f of x, okay, this reflects it over the x-axis, kind of up and down. Okay? The way I remember that is f of x is like your y. Right? So if we have a y of like 3, it's up there, right? Up here, 3. Well, if you put it negative, it just changes it. So instead of graphing at 3, where is it at? Negative 3. If you're at 1, you're at negative 1. So it's really easy to do this reflection. Okay? So if you have your negative in front, okay, that just reflects it over the x-axis. And then if it's f of negative f of x, then what do you think that does? Reflects it which way? Over the y-axis, this way, like you open a book. Okay? And again, this is easy too, because if you're at x equals 7, we're at negative 7. You just plot it. Okay, so it's a reflection that way. All right, so let's look at a couple of these. We might not do all of these, but we'll do a few. Okay, so it says graph the following equations. So we'll graph these. We know how to graph them all. Then we're going to describe the translation of the original function, this one, to from its parent graph. We'll do that. We've done that before. And actually, if you graph it, then you know how it shifts. And then we'll just describe what kind of reflection. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Let's graph this line. By the way, how do we know that this is a line? It's not squared. It's not absolute value. It's to the first. All right, so let me zoom in here. All right, so let's graph just f of x. Then I'll show you how to graph the negative f of x. But let's graph. So this shifts which way? Left 1, down 2. Okay, so left 1, down 2. Put a nice dot there. Make this a little bit bigger. Okay, and then how do we graph a line? Do the slope. Okay, so slope is 3. So what does that mean? Good. Rise 3 over 1. So 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay. And then put a few more points. So up 1, 2, 3 over 1. You can even go down 1, 2, 3, back 1. Okay, go ahead and draw the line like that. Oops, missed it a little bit, but there you go. Let me go ahead and answer part B. It says describe the translation. Well, we know what it did. It went 1 left and down 2. So I'll just put left 1 and down 2. Okay. Okay. Just what we did to graph this function right there. Okay, now we're going to graph the negative f of x. All right, so negative, it's on the outside there. So f of x is your y. So we just take every y value, height, and just reflect it. So if this is at a, where is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a negative 5. Reflects over the x-axis. So instead of negative 5, where is it at? Positive 5, over there. So we're going to graph this reflection. So negative 5, so okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's there. So you plot that. So go to this point. This one's at y equals negative 2. Well, so that should be a positive 2, right? If this is at 1, where should the reflection be? Negative 1, right? If this is at 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 4, this should be at negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reflection, oops, just a little bit right there. There you go. So that's negative f of x right there. Just take all your y values and flip it. Instead of being down there, it's up there. Instead of being down there, it's up there. Instead of being up there, it's down there. Okay, make questions? Okay, we'll look at some others. Okay, but that's the reflection. This is the reflection. Okay. C, it says describe the reflection from the original to the modified function. We'll just put it reflect over the x-axis. So x-axis. Okay? Reflects over the x-axis. All right, let's look at this parabola. Okay, let's move up. So we'll do the same thing. So let's go ahead and sketch it. So we should be pretty good at this sketching. So how does it shift? Just down 3. Nothing left or right. It's not in parentheses there, so 0 left and right, but down 1, 2, 3. There we go. Does this parabola open up or down? Down. It opens down because it's negative. The coefficient's negative, right? Perfect. And then how do we graph a parabola? Plug in a point. And real quick review, and this kind of sums it up. This really helped my other 2 periods. We have 4 different types of graphs. 4 graphs. How do you graph them? If it's a line, or if you see something that's straight, like a line or even a V, straight lines, you do the slope. Okay, there's 4 different types of graphs. So 2 of them, you do the slope, a line and a V. The other 2, if it has a curve to it, like a parabola or an exponential, how do you do it? Pick another point. You pick other points. So 2 of them you do slope, the other 2 you pick a point. So this has a curve to it, it's a parabola. Okay, so pick a point. So we went 0, then we went down 3, there it is. So let's pick a point. So what point should we plug in for x? 1. Sure, right? So you go 1 this way. So pick 1 for x. So if x is 1, so 1 squared is 1, times negative 2 is negative 2. What's negative 2 minus 3? Negative 5, right? So 1 comma negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. Okay? And then we know it's a parabola, it opens down, so you could just do it symmetrical on the other side. There that is. Just draw your parabola. If we needed another point, we could put another point. But there it is. There's our parabola. Okay? So we just start these notes. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now the shift that occurred, we could just put down 3, down 3. Also from the parent graph, from the parent graph is right there. It also flipped, so it went down 3 and also flipped. We'll put that. Flipped over, because that's negative. That's the change from the parent graph. Okay, but now they want us to graph negative g of x. Negative g of x. So that reflects it over the x-axis, my pencil there, reflects it over. So just plot the points, change the y values, right? So if this was, the vertex was at negative 3, it's now where? Positive 3. 1, 2, 3, there it is. If it's at negative 5, that's at positive 5. And that's at positive 5 on that side. So just, there it is. Oops, missed the dot, but there we go. So that's our reflection over the x-axis. Okay? So wherever these are, reflects up there. That's down there at negative 5, that's up there at positive 5. Okay? Does that make sense? Easy enough on those? Yeah, and then so we'll put, same thing we put there. So reflects over the x-axis. Okay? We may get to these, but let's go down to, let's do this one. So this is a different type of reflection. This reflects over the y-axis, but let's go ahead and do it. All right, so we'll do the same thing. Let's go ahead and graph this line. And it shifts from the origin. It's a line. And how does it shift? Right 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. And then how do we do something that's straight? Do the slope. Do the slope. So negative 1/2. Okay, so let me go down 1 over 2. Down 1 over, whoops, we're off there. Let me go up 1, back 2. Up 1, back 2. Let's do a couple more. Up 1, back 2. Okay. So do quite a few because we're going to just change it. Up 1, back 2. Go ahead and graph that line. So we got to have a few dots there, points. Let me do B first. Our shift, before we do this reflection, it shifted 5 to the right. So 5 to the right. Okay. I don't know why I spelled out 5, but okay, so 5 to the right. All right. So now let's do this. F of negative x. F of negative x. So it doesn't go up and down, but left and right. All right, so let's just start plotting some of these. So if we're at, if we're at 1, 2, 3, if we're at negative 3, where should we be? Positive 3. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Okay. If we're at negative 1, so it reflects over the y-axis, then we're at positive 1. Right? If we're at, is this at positive 1 there? So we reflect this over the y-axis. So if we're at 1 there, we should be where? Negative 1. If this is at 1, 2, x is 3, negative 3. 1, 2, 3. If this is at, I don't know, 5, it should be at negative 5. There you go. Okay, and 7, so there's your reflection. So this right there, that's reflected over the y-axis. Actually put, so that's what we write down for C, reflect over the y-axis. Okay. Let's skip over, let's do this absolute value. Make sure we do an absolute value. Yep. Mm-hmm. Number, which one? 6. This one up here? This one? Okay, there it is. Okay. Let me keep that there. Let's go. Let me know if you have any questions on that. Okay, let's go over to this one, the V. All right, so let's go ahead and shift this one. We'll graph this one. So let me go down here. All right, so this goes what? Which direction? Right 4. Doesn't go up or down any. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. How do we graph a absolute value, a V? There we go. Do the slope. Yes, do the slope. Okay, so up 2 over 1, 2, 3. Up 2, let me go back 1, 2, 3 that way, because we know it's a V, straight lines. Here we go. Got it. Actually, let me do another up 2 over 1, 2. I should have done that a little bit more accurate. So let me change that a little bit. Okay, so looks more like that. Yeah, it looks nice and messy. Zoom in here. Okay, so let's answer B. It just went to the right 4, and that's all it did. Okay, so now what I want you to do is take every point and reflect it over the y-axis. So you do that. So I know this is at 4, so go to negative 4. This is at 1, go to negative 1. So you're flipping it over the x-axis and draw your V. And draw your V. So go ahead and do that right now. Reflecting it, h of negative x, reflecting it over the y-axis. Okay, and I know C is reflect over the y-axis. Reflect over the y-axis. Okay, so your graph should look like. So Zoe, how did you do this? How did you Pick a couple points and tell me where to.
The top one, go over 4.
Okay,
Cross the,
go over here. Good, because this is 2 this way, so go 2 this way. Perfect. What about this one?
go the other way.
There you go.
The 1.
Good. This is 1 this way, so the positive 1, so this is negative 1. There it is. This is, where's that at? 4. Good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that. This one's, I don't know where that's at. Where's that at? 7. So where's that at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over there. Okay, and then should have this and this, and there we go. It reflects over the y-axis. Okay, I better do one that's exponential. So let me do. Okay, so let's do either one of these two over here. How about we do, sure, top one. All right, so let's do the top one, and then we'll look at the back. Okay, so let's graph the first one. All right, so where do we normally start, or where does it start? 0, 1. Okay, 0, 1. And then it shifts. Right 3, up 1. Okay, from there, not 0, 0. It's the only one that starts at a different spot. Okay, so right 1, 2, 3, up 1. There's the start. Where do I put the horizontal asymptote?
1 space.
There you go, 1 space like this. And then how do we graph an exponential? Do we do the slope, or what do we do? Plug in a point. Find another point. Remember, there's 4 graphs. 2 of them you plug in a point, 2 of them you do the slope. If it's a curve to it, plug in a point. So what do you want to plug in? This is right at 3 here. What do you want to plug in? X equals 4. Let's pick one this way. We might pick another one, but let's pick 4. So x, y. So pick 4. Pick 4 for x. Okay, so pick 4 for x. So 4 minus 3 is 1. 2 to the first is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. There we go. 4 comma 3. Let's plot it. So 4 comma 1, 2, 3. There we go. We should pick another one. Let's pick 5. Pick 5. Plug in 5 and tell me what you get.
5.
You actually get 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So plot 5 comma 5. 3, 4, 5 comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And we know our graph in general looks like that. Go. Actually, let's do B. This shifted 3 to the right and up 1. 3 to the right, up 1. Let's go ahead and reflect it over the. So how do we do this? Negative times whatever j of x. What do we do? Reflects over the x-axis. Okay. Instead of being up there, you're down here. So let's go ahead and graph this thing. In fact, if you want, you could put the horizontal asymptote. This is at 1, so the horizontal is at negative 1. Right? If this is up at 2, this is at negative 2. It's at 3, so it's negative 3. 4, 5, negative 5. And so this looks like that. Okay. So this kind of just really solidifies graphing again. And then we can kind of figure out how to flip it.
You have to draw the line.
The horizontal, I do, just to help me graph it a little bit better. Okay. Okay, so far so good? Having fun yet? Yeah, I heard a yes somewhere. Okay. All right. Okay, let's turn this over and let's see what we got to do on the other side. It's kind of similar. Let's see. Okay, we have, this is our graph, our regular graph, f of x. We'll find domain and range. But then they just want us to do some shifts. These we know how to do. These we know how to do. This is what we learned today. And so we'll do a couple of these. But let's go to this one, the original, and domain and range. Domain and range. So these are closed circles here and here. Okay. All right, so domain. Domain. The domain of this graph, remember these are x-axis numbers, so you can pretend the y-axis is not even there. Okay. What's the domain from where to where? Negative 5 to positive 3. So negative 5 to 3. And why is it square bracket? Because it's closed circle, it includes. There is an x equals 3. At x equals 3, you're right there. Okay. So range of heights, what's the lowest? It is negative. So again, you could kind of forget the x-axis. You're just these y-axis numbers. So negative, where's that? Negative 4 is the lowest. And then 0 would be the highest. 0. And there is a height of 0. Okay, so that's just domain and range of that one. All right, so let's do this one. So this problem right here. Okay, they want us to graph f of x minus 3 plus 4. So here's our f of x. But we know how this shifts. How does this shift? Right 3, up 4. So guess what? Take this point right there, go right 3, and up 4. And we'll plot it over here. So let's just see where it's at. So right 3, so 1, 2, 3, up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right there. Okay, so I'm going to put it down here. So it's at negative 2, 1. So right there. So this point, if you go right 3, up 4, you're right there. Okay, let's do this point. So we're just plotting these key points to graph this thing. So let's do this point. Because this whole thing shifts right 3, up 4. So this point, let's go right 3, 1, 2, 3, up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're actually at 1, 4, 1, 4. You're right there. So let's start drawing. So there's that line right there. Okay, so we took this, went right 3, up 4. Let's pick this point. Let's go right 3, up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're at 3, 2. You're right there. And then let me just draw a little curve right. There we go. So do you guys see what we're doing? Good. Let me do another point. So this one I want to go right 3, up 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're right there, 5, 0. So, or you can kind of see it just kind of diagonal right there. There's that. This goes diagonal up there. There it is. So this whole thing, this going right 3, up 4 is right there. Okay. And then they want domain range. Great practice on domain range. So the domain of this graph is from, where is it from? Negative 2 all the way to 6. Range of heights, what's the lowest? 0. What's the highest? Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Highest is 4. Bingo. Okay. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, compared to this original graph, they want this. What does this negative f of x do? It reflects it over the this axis, right? I know it says, so it's from up there to down there. It reflects over the x-axis. So if you're at 7, you're at negative 7. If you're at 1, you're at negative 1. If you're at 0, you stay at 0. Okay, so this, which is at negative, where's it at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So negative 5. So if we're at negative 3, our new should be, if we're at negative 3, this should be positive 3. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Okay. So we're at negative 5, so positive 3. What about this one? If you're at 0, stay 0. Negative 0. So stay 0. So right there. So you could draw that if you want to start it. There's that line. Okay, if this was at negative 2, positive 2. 1, 2, you're there. Let's draw this little curve. How do I draw that curve? Like this? Kind of bowed up or under? Which way? It does. You want to reflect this whole thing. So it goes like this. It goes like that. Okay. And then, all right, so if this one down there, if this one was at negative, is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 4 should be positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's up there. Straight line there. And is at 3, so it should be like that. There you go. Okay. And then domain range, domains from negative 5 to 3. Range of heights, 0 to 4 again. There you go. Okay. So, would we know how to do this?
Yes.
Sure. How does it shift?
Left.
Left 2,
Down 1.
down 1. How does this reflect? Over the y-axis, this way. And now all you would do is, if you're over there, put it over there. Okay. Don't worry about finishing these. I'm going to have you start the homework, and you will see it looks just like this. Okay. So, so get in your big packet. It's 1-4. So let's go ahead and start that. I'll come around. 10 minutes, we get a lot done. Get probably half of it. If you know how to graph, you can do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and start that. Okay. And that's it.